Hello, everyone. We are live. Let's share this stream. Everyone here? Who's here? Who's here? Wave your hands right up in the air. How is everyone? How are we all feeling after the event? How wrong were people? I don't think anyone got right what was going to be in. That was interesting. It's a good one. It's a good event. There's no new AirPods. That's a bit annoying for me because I wanted AirPods. There's no new Macs. That's a bit annoying, but it does mean that I get to keep talking about them for another month probably, and still getting people to come in. But not a bad event to be fair. That cinematic video looks pretty amazing. So just smash down in the comment section in the live chat. What was your most exciting part of it? If it's not just a whole product, then let me know what your favorite feature was of something. And also just let me know how does the audio sound. I think it's probably not too bad, but let me know how it is. We may well be having Surround Bites coming on to join us in a little bit, but he obviously is also very excited. Sierra Blue, yes, for that iPhone. That is definitely not Sunset Gold. So... nobody. Ooh, bong. Knock the mic. Yeah, I don't think anybody predicted that one. So it was nice to have an event. It was nice to have an event where we actually had some stuff going on. Right, let me see if there's anything I can do about the audio not being quite on. Let me see. So we are on this one. Let me just reinitialize the mic, see if there's something I can fix with that. Right, let's turn the monitor on and just see what's going on. Does that... it's not too far off what I'm actually doing, but maybe a bit annoying. Definitely annoying for me. So I could switch to the iPhone camera with the audio from the phone, but I think this is probably still going to be better. So let me get rid of that. Cool. Right, let's have a little look. I'm not sure what I can do about the sync on the audio, unfortunately, unless maybe I can just turn it off and on again. Maybe that might resync it. We will see. But still, it was a pretty impressive event. There was a lot of surprises, I think. So, £949 for the Pro. We're just having a quick look now in the stuff over here. That baby blue iPhone 13 is the greatest of all time, and 1 terabyte option on the iPhone 13 Pros. Yeah, so there was a lot. There was a lot to talk about. So I'm going to just pull up the notes that I made, hopefully. So first of all, we had Apple TV, which basically happened. They played a trailer and then it disappeared. So that was fine. We didn't really want to talk about Apple TVs anyway on this one. Evan Rogers, thank you very much for a super chat already. That is very quick and very generous of you, sir. Favorites, 2.5 hour longer battery life for the Pro Max Sierra Blue. Yeah, that does look very, very nice. I'm quite excited about that. But yeah, let's take this from the beginning of the event. So we had Apple TV Plus. They said we've won some awards, and then they said we've got some Emmy nominations, and then they played some trailers, and then all of a sudden we were into iPads, which was exciting. And I thought there were some really nice things on the iPads. It was nothing to do with what we expected, because we did think we were going to get a slightly larger display on the iPad. Nothing. We thought we were going to get the thinner stuff. We thought we were probably going to get a laminated display. I'm not sure if we have that or not yet. But we have A13 Bionic. We have 20% performance increase, which is very good. I'm probably going to be getting a couple of these for my kids, which is good because at the moment they're using my work iPad Air, iPad Air 2 rather, and also I think it's a 4th gen iPad. It's one of the early Retina display ones with the big thick bezels. So that's what my kids are using right now. I think one of them might be at the door. If you see that handle move, then you know one of them's trying to get in. But they're getting double storage. So they're getting 64 gigabytes of storage to start with. They're also getting center stage. That stunned me. I didn't think that was going to be coming. I thought that was very much going to be a pro feature. Who is it? Who is it? T? T? Children. Always have to have a visit from the children at some point during a stream. That's important. But center stage, yeah, really interested with that one. So I thought that was quite cool. What else have we got? Let's have a little look down here. So yeah, double storage, and then we're moving on. Yeah, it has come down slightly price-wise in the UK. Thank you, Patton, the Apple Gamer, who's checking up on these prices for me. So £319 in the UK. So they've dropped by a tenner over here. Then we had the iPad mini, and just to be clear, Mark Gurman did not think we were getting iPads at this event. He thought we were getting iPhones, Apple Watch, and then the next event we'd be getting iPads and M1X. So that didn't happen, and I got really excited, thinking maybe we're going to get some laptops as well, but we didn't. But the new iPad mini, I think it looks really cool. As soon as they did that text that looks like the iPad Air text, I was like, okay, cool. So we've got our redesign. That's great. Purple, pink, starlight, and space gray colors. 8.3-inch display. Pretty good. That's not a bad shout at all, I don't think. So I'm pretty cool on that. 40% faster CPU, 80% faster GPU. Now, did they actually say which SoC it uses? I'm going to check on Apple's website, because I have a feeling they told us how it worked, but then and how fast it was, but they didn't actually tell us which processor. So if anyone heard, let me know just down in the live chat now, because that'd be really helpful to know. But technical specs, that'll be the page that'll tell me. Is it A15? Did they put A15 in it and just didn't want to mention it? Yes, they did. So it's A15 Bionic with 64-bit architecture, 6-core CPU, 5-core graphics. So it's the version that comes in the iPhone 13 Pro and the Pro Max. So it looks like they're doing very much a binned chip for the iPhone and going for the full-on chip with the 5-core graphics for the Pro and for the iPad Mini. So that's interesting. Marcin Kowalczyk, it's not A13 for the Mini at all. It's A15. I am on the page right now as we speak. So it's it's A13 for the base iPad and A15 for the iPad Mini, which is pretty cool. You get 4K video recording at 24 to 60 frames per second. It doesn't appear. Oh no, we do have slow-mo. That's fine. We've got that as well. What else do we have? Time-lapse video with stabilization, continuous autofocus, blah 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 blah, all that good stuff. I wonder if you get any of the cinematic stuff, cinematic video stabilization on the FaceTime HD camera, but you're also getting that center stage mode, which I'm just blown away by. I think that's pretty awesome. Yeah, so I think the iPad Mini, pretty compelling. It has gone up to $499 from $399, but you are also getting like just so much more iPad. So I think pretty good. Right. So what did we get after that? I think that was pretty awesome. Is anyone, let me know down in the chat if you are planning to pick up an iPad Mini, because I think they're going to be pretty awesome when they come out. Apple Watch Series 7. Wow, disappointment time. Was anyone else like completely thrown off by it not being the shape that we expected? It seems, it's not what we expected. I was thinking it was going to be this well before any of the renders came out, and I kind of even tried to render it myself using SketchUp because I'm excellent like that. But yeah, I was kind of like, oh, Apple Watch Series 7 is really quite dull. So it's got the same battery life. We thought it was going to be getting better battery life. We thought it was going to have a flat display. We thought it was going to have flat sides. Yeah, it didn't have all that. So that was unfortunate, but this is one of the weird ones. Those leaks were with Guoming Chi, They were with John Prosser, and they were with Mark Gurman. So everyone's taken a hit on that one. So there must have been something about this. Is this a situation where Apple was actually feeding out incorrect information? It's a possibility. Something we'll be talking about over the coming days, I think. David Stevenson, I promised you nothing. But I will be getting to the chat in a sec. I just want to kind of recap everything that's gone on so far. But I think the Mini is very good. Apple Watch Series 7, okay, it's fine. I don't think anyone cares. It charges a bit faster. What the hell is Apple Watch Series 3 still doing in the lineup? Like, it's very clear from the name of it that it's 4 years old, because we have Series 3 and we have Series 7. So Apple Watch SE, I'm dead happy that I bought this, because I ain't upgrading this for that Apple Watch Series 7. I was quite excited to do it potentially for, I would have been more torn had it had the redesign that we were expecting. However, it's just had a slightly bigger display. Tim Beaton, the satellite phone thing, still quite possibly in there, but something that they might launch and talk about later down the line. There was a lot of talk that might not be something that gets revealed straight away. Apple Fitness Plus, we got some add-ons to that. Some that I think are actually quite good. I'm probably going to try out the guided meditations. I think that's quite interesting. I've got Fitness Plus. I use it not as much as I should, as you can probably tell from my athletic physique. But some other new stuff that was interesting, the workouts to get ready for snow season, that was a bit left field. Like, why did they decide that was what we wanted? Not really sure. But I think the mindfulness stuff is good. Having it on the watch is pretty cool. But I'm assuming you can only then do that with AirPods in anyway. So I'm fine with it on my phone for that. The group workouts, though, I think is quite cool. But I still don't know if it lets you do it in a good way, like next to a person. Because that was one of the things. It was like, okay, you've got two people in a room with Apple Watches on. Only one of you gets your stuff put up on the screen. Like, it surely wouldn't be that hard to put two sets of rings with a name next to them on the screen. Come on, Apple. That's not that hard. And also, one thing that I did notice that was mentioned was maybe you have to AirPlay it to your Apple TV if you want to do group workouts on a TV. You can't just open it in the app on there. That seemed a bit strange. But we'll see. We'll see what goes on with that. Then we got to the iPhone 13s, and we did not get AirPods before that, which was very strange. But here we go, iPhone 13. It does get the redesign that we expected, with the larger battery, smaller notch, improved camera layout, 28% brighter display. That was unexpected. So 800 in its overall, and peak brightness of 1200. A15 Bionic, of course, and this is a little bit that is interesting. It looks like they are binning chips for the A15s, so you've got 4-core GPU, 6-core CPU with 4 efficiency and 2 high performance cores. Still excited to find out what those cores are called. But the Pro models are going to get a 5-core GPU, so there is going to be more graphics performance in those, more compute performance, which is interesting. Now, cinematic mode. Was anyone else absolutely blown away by this? Anyone else? Oh, Marcin, iCave Dave, important, not new, but important. The emergency update mention on stream, please. Huh? Are we talking about the satellite thing? What are we talking about? I'm not 100% sure. Marcin, can you help me out with that? Oh, okay, I gotcha. It patches the Pegasus state level exploit vulnerability. Right, so yes, if you are still running iOS 14.7, I guess it is, update your devices, because there is a big security vulnerability that is being exploited, and I believe it's through text messages, and it's through PDFs that get sent to you, or something along those lines. Just update your iOS immediately. If there's an update pending, always update it. In this case, make sure you do it today. That's it. So I think that's what you meant. Hopefully, fingers crossed. update your stuff. Cool. Right. So cinematic mode. This is the exciting one. The cinematic mode just looked amazing. Except it was basically rack and focus. Now, they didn't mention that it is, in fact, saving all of your depth point, and it is saving your depth map into the videos so that you can adjust it in post. So it is the portrait mode video that we were hoping for. It's just that they didn't really present it in that way. They kind of just skirted around the idea. But it looks like that works on both iPhones as well, which is interesting. It works on the regular iPhones and the Pros. So I think that kind of takes us up to the end. I mean, we've got the Pro Max has got that cool new color. There were interesting colors as well for the regular one. You got a pink, you got a red, you got a blue, a midnight green, was it? I missed that bit. And the photography styles. Did anyone care about that? It's Instagram filters in the camera. Fine, cool, that exists. But yeah, let's get into the chat and talk about stuff. Oh, and everything starts at 128 gigs now, which is lovely. Cool. Right, let's have a look at what you guys are saying in the chats. Evan Rogers, oh, are you upgrading to the new iPhone? No. So here we go. I'm going to run back in the chat a little bit so that we can talk through what's going on. But yes, no, I'm not planning to upgrade my iPhone at this point. That's not a thing that's on the cards for me this year. Don't think so. So, yeah, not planning to upgrade my iPhone this year. Sorry, got messages coming in on Twitter that I just needed to double check then. But let's run back a little bit. So, in fact, if you're in the chat now, which I guess you are if you're watching this, why haven't you pressed like? I am watching you. But also, pop your comments down now. I'm not actually gonna run all the way back because there's so much to look at. But hello to everyone and thank you all for being here. I'm sorry if the audio's not quite in sync. I don't think there's anything I can do about it at this point, unfortunately, which is a bit of a pain. But I'm hoping it's not horrendous, and I will try and fix it afterwards for if anyone does want to watch this back. But let's have a quick look. Were they sneak peeking the MacBooks when they were talking about A15 and photography features from Michael? So I don't think they were. I was having a real kind of close look in the backgrounds of stuff because I thought I saw a black iMac, but I didn't. It was an XDR display. So I don't think they were in the background there. Tim Beaton, the filters are probably more controllable. Yeah, I would agree. I'm hoping Team Kinetics is in the chat because he writes for F-Stoppers and he knows a lot of stuff about cameras. So he might be able to give us a bit more insight into some of the other stuff that's going on there. Best takeaway of this event is that the iPhone is still the fastest smartphone on the market. Yeah, and in fact, I think the base level iPad is still faster than... I think it's still faster than the Snapdragon 888, which is like the fastest Snapdragon chip. A bit crazy. Marcin Kowalczyk, macro photography. Yeah, that looked pretty awesome. The real close-up, so I think it was 2 centimeter focal point that you can kind of get that close to stuff. That looked incredible. There was some really, really good stuff. They mentioned that a depth map is saved during the testimonials. Okay, see, I kind of switch off for some of those like pre-recorded little video chunks that I know it's all pre-recorded, but you know what I mean, like the testimonial chunks. I need to go through and watch the whole event again, obviously, before we do tomorrow's videos. But yeah, I think there was some real good stuff actually in here. So the macro mode looks good. Daniel Duran, I'm on the iPhone 11. We'll be upgrading to the iPhone 13 in white. Yeah, it did look really nice in white. Are all the camera features on both sizes for the Pro? Yes, it doesn't look like there's any difference now in camera function between the Pro and the Pro Max, as far as I can tell. There may... No, I think they even talked about all of the like pixel sizes and the zoom levels, and I'm sure they were the same for both. I'm sure they didn't single out the Pro Max at any point this time. If I'm wrong about that, let me know in the comments, because you know I'm not good at this. I always miss some stuff that's important. iPad Air 5 in March of 2022. Now, I kind of want to just check the website because I would have thought they'd just throw the A15 at that and be done with it. You know, A15, center stage camera, everyone's happy, I think, with the iPad Air, because I mean, I love mine. I think this thing's awesome. Oh, look, on the camera, it actually looks blue. That's the first time it's ever looked blue, ever. Normally, it just looks kind of grey. But yeah, when we're talking about the iPad Air and the iPad Mini, like moving the volume buttons up to the top, I think that's fine. I think it's a little bit jank. Like, why couldn't they just stick the pencil to the other side of it? But then when you put it on any kind of case, it looks a bit crazy. So yeah, I kind of see what they've done there. Why is the first gen Apple Pencil still being used for new iPads, Greg? That is purely because sorry, I was reading Daniel's comment after this one. Because you can't magnetically attach it to the side of an iPad with the old style to charge, so you wouldn't be able to do it. Now, what I think they should do is release an Apple Pencil case where you kind of take your magnetically charging pencil, you put it in a little case, and that charges it like an AirPods case. And then we can get rid of the ridiculous one with the lightning port on the end of it. But yeah, that's why it exists, basically. This is what made me giggle, because Daniel decided to mock me. It's funny. So, Master Kovalchuk, the macro mode is actually useful. Pro tip, to read small text like on a PCB. Very good idea. Yeah, if you're looking at silicon, that would be really handy. Being able to post-adjust the bokeh is an amazing video feature. Yep, absolutely. And this is one of the things that we were expecting. This is the one that I predicted last year when they put in the LiDAR sensors. And yep, it's here, finally. Hey! Tim Beaton, where is M1X? Well, that is the question, isn't it? As soon as we knew that Gurman was wrong about the iPads coming at the next event, I was convinced that we might be getting them again. I was like, oh, he's wrong. So it's just one big event, and then it wasn't. But that does mean I get to keep speculating for a bit, and that keeps the views coming in, keeps the bills paid. I thought we were going to have an AirPods upgrade from Clement. Yeah, I think we all did, but also, since the original AirPods, and I mean the original AirPods, the first time were launched, they've never talked about AirPods at an event like this. So the second gen didn't get an event launch. AirPods Pro didn't get an event launch. AirPods Max didn't get an event launch. They've all just been press releases. So that could come later this month still. But yeah, it would have been nice. What else have we got? Apple Watch was the smallest update ever. I have a Series 4 and can't find a reason to upgrade. Hopefully next year is big. I agree with you. I've got to say, I think it was the disappointing one. And I kind of saw the guy fall off the bike and I was like, that watch does not look flat. And then he stood up and you were like, oh yeah, we just made it bigger and it's still a bit round. And John Prosser was like, wait, what? On Twitter. It was quite funny. But yeah, it's fooled everyone. So I have a feeling that there was actually false information put out there to try and find some of the leakers in that one thing. And we saw CADs come from other sources as well. There's definitely something going on there. That was not just people getting it wrong. Remix 40 asks how many predictions were wrong. So I kind of thought we might get the M1Xs, but then I kind of changed my mind at the start of this week. So I guess that, not 100% sure if that counts, but mainly the redesign on the Apple Watch. I think pretty much everything else has come to fruition. We don't know about the satellite chips in the iPhones yet, but that would be very cool if that is the case, but it's just not been brought up. Daniel Duran is loving the sour grapes over the lack of new Macs. Well, yeah, I'd love to have seen the new Macs as well. But also, you know, it's okay. We've got plenty of fall left. And I do think it'll be next month rather than November. Probably October the 12th. Can someone check the education price for 13 Pro? I didn't even know there was an education discount on that one, but maybe there is. Evan Rogers, does iPad 9 have a laminated display? I don't actually know. Let's find out. Let's see if it actually mentions it on the old website. But I've got a feeling it doesn't. Display. So it doesn't actually mention if they are laminated on the laminated ones. So I doubt it's going to say unlaminated display. That's something we will have to see, but I have a feeling because it's using the same chassis as the previous model, as far as we know, that it will not be a laminated display. Right, let's see what else we've got here. Daniel, my only disappointment was the Apple Watch. I still can't stick a SIM in it and make and receive phone calls untethered from the iPhone Dick Tracy style. You won't be able to stick a SIM in it because it's not big enough for a SIM, but you can put an eSIM in them and you can make a phone call without it being next to an iPhone with the cellular models. But yeah, I still think they're a bit rubbish. I wouldn't go for a cellular one because how often do I leave my iPhone? Not ever. Right, what else we got here? Gurman got rickrolled by Tim. I don't think I don't know what you mean. I do hope he actually did. I hope Tim Cook actually just emailed Mark Gurman with Rick Astley. That would be great. Apple Watch available later this fall. What does that mean? What day? See, this is the one where we knew that there were some production delays. I think it's probably going to be next month. I would guess it'll be maybe goes on pre-order end of September, like the 30th of September, ships early in October. I would guess, but not sure. Right. Who dared to dislike Dave the Man? Don't know. No way to know. The iPhone XR is no more. This is true. It's finally gone. Luke Miani was talking in his pre-event stream that he'd heard there were going to be 5 iPhones coming this year. Like 5 new models, and speculating that the iPhone XR would be a great platform for a iPhone SE model. I think it would be. I think you could put a current model chip in there, and with that display and Face ID and all that sort of stuff, the modern design, I think it would do really well. Whether they'll do that or not, we don't know. What we got here? I knew when we went to the iPhone that it was curtains for M1X for this. Now, Tom, I had a feeling that they might have gone iPhone, and then they said Pro on the screen, and they didn't say iPhone Pro. And I was like, are they going to just drop the M1Xs in between the 2 different iPhones? Because I'll be honest, it didn't feel like they had much to say about the Pros. It was like, the blue's nice. That was kind of a big chunk of what was being said, really. Scroll down to chat, or the stream crashes in Safari. Oh god. See, I'm having to use Chrome as well for this because obviously I'm using StreamYard and that does not play nicely. Apple have been leaking false info. Yeah, I think that might be the case, especially with the watch thing. It just seems that way. Did anyone else find it interesting, though, that the Apple Watch stuff was hosted by Jeff as opposed to being our usual Apple Watch host? Can't remember his name now, but isn't he the guy that's moved over to the car? I didn't think he'd moved that long ago, but I think he has. Did anyone else find that was a bit strange? Right, let's have a look down here. Master Gavalchuk, M1X, M2X, iMac will eventually come. Eventually. It does feel like it's been going on forever now. So this means we would be spoiled for events this autumn. I think there's definitely one more coming. There blooming better be. There had better be. Definitely won't be upgrading my watch this year from the Series 6. Can't blame you. I probably wouldn't either. So, Apple Watch on the website says later this fall. What date can we pre-order is available? as we say, don't know. That's going to be something we find out as time goes. Compared to past events, how do I feel this one went? I thought it was as slick as ever. I thought it was pretty awesome, to be honest. No issues with that at all. Marcin Kowalczyk, M1 with only 8 gigs. So, this is about the stream crashing when you're scrolling other thing. Depends how much other stuff you've got going on, to be honest, because weirdly sites like Mac Rumors and Cult of Mac and some of the others do seem to be like massive memory hogs, and I think it's because of the adverts that they have to put on the sites to make them work. But there we go. Can we ever trust Prosser again? WWDC now Apple Watch 7. What do you mean? Like, he thought they were coming, and everyone thought that it was getting that redesign. This isn't Prosser. This isn't a Prosser thing. This is information was put out there that wasn't true from the looks of things. But he did absolutely nail the iPad Mini, like in March, I think, or May. Like, he's known that for a long time. And all the iPhone stuff was also nailed. So yeah, I don't think we need to worry about that. Freaking Apple, no AirPods 3. Yeah, that is annoying. Tim Beaton's still on the 10R. Whoa. So you're still going with that. Are you looking to upgrade this year, Tim? Let me know. iPad Mini delivers Friday. If you order right now, we may get performance numbers on Friday. Yeah, I mean, that will be for the... Wow, iPad Mini will be out, so we'll actually know what the A15 is going to be doing in real life. And if it's delivering on Friday, I would expect that we might be getting some hands-on stuff on YouTube in the next day or so. Maybe Wednesday, maybe Thursday, because let's be honest, we already know that MKBHD will have had it for a couple of weeks, and here's what he thinks. iJustine will be unboxing everything in every color that's ever existed. That's just what happens after an event now. So let's have a quick look down here. Okay, Dave, no GF anywhere either? No girlfriend? I'm sorry to hear that, Martin. How much RAM do the iPhone Pro models have? No idea. It was 6 last year for the Pros and 4 for the regular. It might go up to 8. Don't know. It might still be 6. Daniel Corby, whole event felt pretty lackluster. Watch, meh. iPhone hardware, meh. iPad, meh. I don't think the iPads were meh at all. I thought the iPads were actually the highlight of the event. They should have kept that for a little bit later in the stream, because I thought they were actually probably one of the best things about the event. That, the cinematic mode for the video stuff, the new cameras on the iPhones are what's going to make the big difference, I think. What happened to LEO connection? Could still be there. It was mentioned by Mark Gurman and a few others that they might not roll it out immediately. Might be something that they still have work to do on. But if they were able to get the chips, then that's something that they might be working on. Nitrox, Kevin Lynch, you're right. That's my watch guy that I've forgotten the name of. Thank you very much. iOS 15 is coming on September the 20th. So is that this Friday? September 14th, 15th, this Wednesday. 16th. It's coming out on Monday? Is it? Yeah. Monday. Yeah, Monday. That's cool. Audio thing was always bullshit. Well, we will see, won't we? We will find out if that's actually in there or not. And it only actually takes iFixit to do their teardowns, and we'll probably be able to know that or not. But we'll see. Great camera work for the event overall. Yeah, I mean, they always just smash it out of the park for these things. Is there coming an iPad Air 5th gen this year, Pascal? Think this will probably be one that comes in March if they're going to do an update then. But I don't know why they didn't do it already. It just makes sense they could have just done it. Tim Beaton isn't upgrading his iPhone XR. He is stalwart. He's going to use an obsolete device. That's fine. You do it, man. You do you. Like the look of the new iPad Mini? Yep, can't blame you. It looks pretty awesome. Zizzy's, here's a question. iPhone 13 looks awesome. Is it revolutionary? I'm on iPhone 7 Plus. Should I update? You should absolutely update from an iPhone 7 Plus. That's like 2 iPhones ago for me. And yeah, it's a great phone. It was one of the first ones. I think it was the first one with portrait mode photography. Yeah, it's a fine phone, but you should 100% update. from a 7 Plus, yes, in a big way. Yeah, we're not going to be reading stuff that's just criticizing people for getting something wrong because, to be honest, everyone's trying to do what they can. They're giving us the information they have. David Stevenson, if you think the iPad was meh, what on earth were you hoping for? Yeah, I agree. Like going up to 64 gigs of storage on the base one, still 329, better performance, center stage. That's the name of the thing that I couldn't remember. But yeah, I think it's some really good stuff there. Actually not disappointed by the watch as it looks better rounded. Unknown player. Oh, you've entered the game. That's interesting. Not quite sure what happened there, but yeah, I kind of like the way they look, but I just feel like we need something new now. We've had it for 7 years, 8 years, 8 years, 8 years of Apple Watches that have kind of looked like this. So yeah, I just think it would have been good. iPhone camera is very tempting. No reason to upgrade my Series 5 watch. I basically agree with you. Yep, iPad mini and iMac. Good job on those. Tim Beaton, apparently the stream looked like it had gone down. Aha, thank you very much. See, that's why it was difficult for me to understand, because his name is Craig Federici. It's just that Americans can't say the word Craig and always say Crag instead. I don't understand why, but his name is Craig Federici with a C. That's why I did not get what you were talking about. That makes a lot more sense now. Any word on Logitech or Bridge keyboards for the iPad 9? To be honest, all the stuff that already works for the iPad 8 should work with it because I don't think they've changed anything dimension-wise. Kind of surprised they didn't make the iPad, make it the iPad Air 8.3. Yeah, but I think Mini is just easier because otherwise you're talking about things. I wouldn't have minded either way. It's a name, doesn't matter. Wow, you can't look at the Series 7 on the Apple Store app. I can't blame them. They're just hiding it away. Michael, there's that's what I was saying about the Logitech stuff. Cool. Still have an iPhone 6 Plus, not as a main driver, admittedly. I mean, I've still got an iPhone 4. I just don't use it, but it exists. So, went from the iPhone 6s to 12 Pro Max last year. That's a big jump in terms of a huge upgrade. Something better always comes along, but you can save some pounds and get the 12. So we did have a little choke up on the stream. At least it's still running, so that's all good. Right. Have we got any questions for me? Anyone got any questions? Definitely wanted to buy the John Prosser iPhone 14 with the flush lenses on the back. I'll wait until summer 2023 discount before the 15 comes out. Buying the M1X next and iPad Air next year. A. Hughes. Is it Alan? Just out of interest, because I always assume your name's Alan, but only because I know someone called Alan Hughes. Tim Beaton. I just want M1X Mac Mini or Big iMac. Yep. M1X Mac Mini is what I would really quite like at this point. The pink is pale. Yeah, it is. The pink is super pale. I thought that. I thought it was going to be more kind of vibrant, but nah. Apparently not. Better F on the camera and sensor stabilization is good. Yeah, so the better aperture. So they've got bigger apertures, which means more light gets in and all that good stuff. So I'm guessing all of the stories now set up and all looking pretty good. So the iPhone 13 Pro's tagline is "Oh So Pro." Pre-order from 1 p.m. UK time on the 17th. I mean, the stuff they've got for these does look pretty amazing, to be fair. Oh, iPhone SE is not compatible with MagSafe. I thought there was just a massive gap there. Will the ability to focus shift in post require an update? Require a new version of iMovie or Final Cut? Well, this is the thing. I think this is the sort of stuff that might be coming at the Mac event, which we now assume is going to be a Mac event, because nothing else has happened. So what if, right, this is kind of the new idea. Maybe we're not going to have the new AirPods yet. Maybe the new AirPods are going to get the spatial audio support with the turny head stuff, like the AirPods Pro. Maybe at this Mac event, we are also getting a bunch of software stuff going on. So we get Apple Silicon native versions of Final Cut, which has been rebuilt, which you can then also run on the iPad. We also get Logic, which allows you to master this 3D space audio stuff. But also, the Final Cut and iMovie stuff allows you to support this post-production version of depth mapping and the bokeh adjustments. That would be a pretty good event. A new cinema display would be nice. Yeah, it would be, but at the minute they would only be doing a 24-inch, I would guess, because we haven't got the bigger iMac yet, and they normally do it based on the larger iMac that we don't believe we'll be getting until next year. iCave Dave, does this showdown during the event alter your predictions or desires for future events? The showdown during the event? I'm not quite sure what that bit meant. Can you just clarify that for me, Martin? Thank you. Does this mean all wristbands fit all watch models? You still got the smaller and the larger sizes, the 38/40/now 41 millimeter size, and the larger 42/44/45 millimeter size. But yes, it should be backwards compatible, forwards compatible. I can't say your name, sorry, but I like the pink and the copper rose gold that they've done in the past. Fair enough, that's cool. The new pink is very, very pale, but let's be honest, most people are going to put a case on it, and it's also very difficult to tell from their renders what they're going to look like in reality. So let's hold on until we get some video of people unboxing them. We won't have to wait long. I hope they never call it a big iMac. It could have some hilarious commercials. I think maybe the Mac Pro should just be called the Big Mac. That'd be great. Any ideas on when to expect the iMac Pro? I need more than 128 gigs of RAM and super fast processor. I think the M1X iMac is not due, or M2X more likely. iMac is not due until next fall, as far as we know. And I'm also not sure that you'll get 128 gigs of RAM, but you never know. A is for AO, not Alan. Oh, that's sad for me, but only because I thought your name was Alan. David Stevenson, they said all the old bands still work with the S7. Yep, absolutely. Stephen Huxtable, does the iPad have a laminated display? We don't think so, because it's the same form factor as the old one. It's not the iPad Air 3 that we thought it was going to be, which would have had a laminated display. The cameras are definitely great, but I still have a G5 for video and stills. Is that the Lumix? I'm guessing. I've got the Lumix G7 somewhere over there. But it's not as nice as the iPhone, to be honest. Also waiting for a new version of Logic, says Tim. I agree. John Keeley, this is a guy I know in the real world that I used to work with. Underwhelmed. Yeah, I can see that. I think the iPads, as I say, were the best thing in the event. I think the cinematic mode video was also another highlight. Everything else was kind of a bit, meh. It's fine. That's cool. Chris Edie? Chris Edie. Is the 2019 iPad mini still a good buy for $299? Is that how much it is now? Have you found it discounted to that? Because it would be $399. It's 64 gigs. I don't remember what processor it had inside it. What was the processor in the 2019 iPad mini? I would guess it's an A12, I think. Because it didn't get upgraded at the same time as the iPad Air. So it's an A12. No, it's not. It's not a good buy. Last year's base iPad had that processor in it, but with slightly less storage, but a bigger display. I wouldn't probably spend $300 on that, if I'm honest. Daniel Corby, one more event before the end of the year or two. Right, so if we were going to have two, what are we going to put in it? Let me know down in the comments what you think we would put into two events. I think we've only got enough stuff left for one event, which would be MacBook Pro, two MacBook Pros, M1X Mac Mini, that's definitely going to be the same event. Potentially AirPods, potentially some software stuff. Yeah, it's one event. I don't know what else they'd put out this year. If there's something else that I'm missing, do let me know down in the comments. Watch SE versus hoping for a discounted 6. I mean, you might well find a discounted 6, but I think they sold out pretty well, and I don't see that many people upgrading, so there's not going to be as many in the used market on that. Yeah, watch. I think if anything, you might find some watch Series 5s going, which has got the ECG, but it doesn't have the blood oxygen monitor. That could be a decent buy if you can get one for the same price as an SE. Oh, I've got loads more comments to talk about. Right. If there's another event coming, why announce the Series 7 now so far ahead of availability? Well, they did this last year with the iPad Air as well, where they announced it and then it didn't ship until the same time as the iPhones. So I think the point is that the lack of availability only came up in the past couple of week or so, and reformatting the whole event, changing everything that they already had in place, probably was more hassle than just saying, this is what's coming. And also, I think they're pretty much out of Series 6. I think they were running out of a lot of those in the stores. So that's probably the main reason that they needed to announce the Series 7 already. If nothing else, the Apple Watches tend to be a good gift item, so it could well be that they're making sure that people aren't going somewhere else thinking that maybe there's not one coming this year, because some people do that, and buying like a Samsung watch or something along those lines. There was a sub order on the iPad mini page, and the pencil delivers Friday. The iPad mini, the iPad mini ships September 24th. Yeah, so I think we'll probably be getting the embargo lifted. Basically, the reviewers then should be getting their stuff this Friday, and then they'll probably get their embargo lifted on Tuesday, which is normally when we start to see some stuff, just before the actual stuff lands. I recall that Apple ordered something like 100 million A15 chips for the iPhone. Is that good? Yeah, it's up about 20% on what they normally do. I think they normally do about 80 million. They will have ordered 100 million because they've got not just the iPhone, but also for the iPad mini. I think they'll probably sell, what, maybe 5 million of those? Maybe 95 million iPhones. That makes sense. It would be nice if Apple finally allowed Logic and Final Cut Pro to talk directly. And this is actually something that could be made possible if they did some actual work and made them both ARM-based, or, rewrote them to be ARM native rather than kind of ARM translated. And the main reason for that is that Logic and Final Cut both come from different companies that Apple bought them from, I think, if I understand correctly. Like the Affinity Trio does. I haven't used Affinity, but I hear very good things about it. Let's have a quick look down here. Master Gavalchak, iCave Dave, can't recall the word that today's reveal, not showdown. Okay. But reveal, I think the word fits better. What does today's reveal alter? Okay, so it was basically, I think we're going to have one event. I can't see them putting more stuff in there than the Macs and some software stuff. I think that's pretty much it. Maybe those AirPods, because maybe the AirPods are set up specifically for editing this spatial audio in a particularly good way. I don't know. GH5. Okay, so that's just a better version of the Lumix camera. So it's probably better than my G7, I would assume, because my G7 kind of sucks. If you have a 7 Plus and you think about a 13, go to an Apple store and play with the 12. Performance difference will be astounding between the 7 and the 12. Yes, but if you've got the budget to go for a 13, then it will last you for an extra year. So there's that. We'll be nipping down to Saint-Emilion soon. I guess that's your nearest Apple store. Cool. Daniel Corby, I actually think they should introduce a smaller sized watch. My roommate hated how the Galaxy Watch looked on her wrists, switched to Apple, and now fears their watches are going to keep getting bulkier. So the Apple Watches aren't actually getting any bulkier. They've just got a bigger display built into the same size chassis, as far as I understand it. So shouldn't need to worry too much. The 44mm that I've got right now is basically the same size as the 42 that I had before it. So I don't think you need to worry too much about that. Oh, Watch Series 6 is still available new. Okay, cool. So it's not that then. I don't know. Right. I think we're kind of getting to the end of these questions here. Logic is M1, but you can open it up in Rosetta mode to allow the plugins to work. Yeah, so this is not at the same point that, like, I wasn't saying that it's not native, as in it's not got a universal binary. I'm saying that it's been written for Intel, and then they've kind of done some work behind the scenes to poke around with it. But it's built in a different framework than you would use if you were doing it natively for iPads. Because the stuff you do natively for iPad will work absolutely fine on the Mac through Catalyst, whereas the stuff that you do on the Mac can't be translated in the same way. So what I'm saying is I think they're probably going to rebuild Logic and Final Cut to be more kind of universal rather than being slightly changed, if that makes sense. Fingers crossed that makes sense. Yeah, it's definitely runs natively. Don't worry about that. No, Santa Emilion for some nice Bordeaux. Fair enough. It's definitely a good idea. Have you noticed that none of these are real wineries on the back here? They're all lies. I think I'm going to repaint this wall soon. Let me know what colour you think I should go for down in the comments. Up to 1200 nits of brightness, going to help in bright conditions for capturing photos and particular video. Yeah, absolutely. Ariel de Meza, what products were revealed? Oh, you're just joining us to find out instead of watching it. Cool. So they talked briefly at the beginning about Apple TV and then didn't reveal anything really apart from a trailer. iPads got an update to A13 with center stage cameras and 64 gigs of starting storage, same price. iPad mini got a complete redesign like the iPad Air did last year. New processor, it's got the A15 inside, new colors, purple, pink, starlight, space gray, looks really pretty, 8.3-inch display. Then Apple Watch Series 7, which didn't get the redesign that we expected. It got a different redesign that just went a little bit bigger, but still has all the curvy edges. It charges faster, and nobody really cares about it, just to be completely honest. Apple Fitness Plus got some new workouts, so you've now got Fitness Plus with guided meditations. You get subtitles if you're international and you want to use it there, and also getting ready for skiing and snowboarding seasons, and also you can do group workouts with SharePlay. Then the iPhone 13 came with its A15 Bionic, which is still 5nm, but it's more efficient 5nm, 15 billion transistors, up from I think 11 million last year. Could be wrong, check my work. 4 efficiency cores and 2 performance cores with a 4-core GPU. Better cameras, cinematic video mode, really cool, new 5G stuff, pretty good. Oh, and everything starts at 128 gigs of storage for the Mini, the regular, and the Pros. The Pros can now have a terabyte of storage. They get a Sierra Blue option that replaces the Pacific Blue, was it? I think. It's been gone for all of 10 minutes, and I've forgotten what it was called. You get promotion on the iPhone Pros, and again, new cameras, 5-core GPU, max storage, a terabyte. So I think that's pretty much it. So I'm going to wrap up this stream, I think. I'm basically space gray wall. Yeah, I could see that working. Up here, maybe, yeah, a bit darker than we have now. I could go with that. I could roll with that. What else have we got? Looks great and won't and will help as it won't glare on the camera at all. Yeah, with space gray, I absolutely agree. You did comment on the fake chateaus before. That's true. And here we go. iOS 15 is available from Monday, and iPhone 12 Pro and 12 Pro Max discontinued. Yep, that makes sense. And yeah, they are keeping. That's what we needed to check. So the iPhone 12 is staying in the range, and what are the prices? Because they're keeping the Mini and the 12. So over here they're $579 and $679, and I think the 13 Mini is probably the same price as the 12. Yeah. So you can have a 12 or a 13 Mini for $699 in the States, I guess, and $599 for the 12 Mini. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. It was a bit of a weird one. But yeah, guys, I'm going to wrap up this stream. If you've got any questions that you want me to answer in tomorrow's show, let me know down in the comments section. As usual, not in the chat. Throw them into the actual comments section, and then I'll be able to pick those up for you. Yeah. So thank you so much for all joining us. Still got 100 people in the chat. Not too bad at all. But I'm starting to lose my voice, so I'm going to get out of here and go and have some food and enjoy the rest of your night, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining me. And we've got another event to do this season. It looks like it better be another event. I need my laptops. Am I going to have to start the next video with where's my laptops again? Maybe. Thank you all for being here. We'll see you in the next one.